Hi everyone, it's Wednesday Warriors, and it's me, Arielle. And this week, I'm going to be talking about how to push yourself in recovery without slipping up and having setbacks because you're doing too much too fast. It's really important to abide by the one day at a time philosophy. And sometimes one day at a time can even be slowed down to be 1 hour at a time, even 1 minute at a time, depending upon the situation. There is no need to push yourself farther simply because you are competing with some kind of a standard of recovery, or because other people are expecting things of you, or because even you yourself are expecting certain outcomes. There are no deadlines in recovery. There are no timetables. There are no specific time frames that you need to follow. And if you don't exceed expectations by a certain time, then you're somehow a failure. It doesn't work that way. Recovery ebbs and flows. And once you get the hang of it, and once your effort is really being put into it on a regular basis with that one day at a time philosophy, it's going to flow and the ebbing will stop and it will just keep flowing. Recovery is hard. Recovery is hard work. This isn't something that just comes easily and naturally, or no one would suffer from an eating disorder in the first place. I say this all the time, but you have to be kind to yourself. Kindness is key. You're going to have a lot of deadlines in life, and recovery is one of the things that doesn't have any. Don't give yourself deadlines that you don't need to have. Don't give yourself deadlines that don't exist. Sometimes in recovery, plateaus happen. And a plateau is when you are pushing yourself in recovery and then you get to a certain point where things feel very stagnant. You're not doing worse, you're not getting worse, but you're also not getting better either. And it just kind of goes on like that for a while. And it can be very frustrating when you want to be farther or you think that you should be farther. But plateaus are really a really big part of recovery. Just like sometimes, unfortunately, relapse is part of recovery. Sometimes it takes a while for something to stick and become part of your nature and part of your lifestyle again. Sometimes it takes a lot of effort to push through those plateaus and to get to that place where you again have to put in some effort before things are going to become second nature. And it can be really hard to trust the process. I know it's hard to trust the process when the person in charge of the process is you. When you're in that driver's seat, when you're the boss of your own recovery, if you don't have a very good working relationship with yourself, it can be very tricky. If you have not yet mastered loving yourself, if you have not yet mastered trusting yourself, and if you have not yet mastered self-esteem that is on the level with being kind to yourself and being appropriately respectful, it's going to be more difficult. When people say trust the process, trust recovery, what they're really saying is trust you, trust yourself. And that can be really scary. And it can almost be laughable for some people where they'll sit there and they'll think, there's no way I can trust myself. I got myself into this mess. So sometimes you just have to let that go and think, is recovery what I want? Yes. Okay. Do I want to push forward? Yes. Okay. Then I can do this. And you just trust that your desire and your determination to succeed in recovery will be the driving force and will be stronger than any negative pull that might be there. We all get stuck sometimes. Don't start berating yourself. Don't start calling yourself names or being mean to yourself just because you don't think you're measuring up. The everlasting plateau. Usually recovery is a roller coaster. It's full of ups and downs, curves, and upside down spirals. We hear this, we know this, we understand this, it makes sense. There is, however, a lesser known part of recovery that I like to call the plateau. The plateau is really what tests your patience. It's a time during recovery when everything is moving along in the same way. Not getting worse, but not getting better for a very long time. And it makes recovery almost feel stale. It gets your impatience raging. It makes you wonder if there's really a better place in sight or if you've reached your peak. Well, let me tell you right now, you haven't. Plateau is good in a lot of ways because you're not constantly worried about setbacks. You're not preoccupied with slipping up. You're not solely focused on keeping your life on track, day by day by day. You've made it somewhere. You've made definite progress. You're doing okay. Yet, each day now seems the same. You're okay, but you're not great. You don't feel free. And the worst part of it is that nothing's changing. No matter how much you push and try, you feel the same day after day. And you wonder, what gives? Is this what I've been working for? No. It'll come. It's coming. You're getting there. You just can't see it with the naked eye. But if you would, for example, compare day 55 to day 88, you'll see a difference. It's imperceptible on a daily basis, but it's happening. The plateau is not fun, but it's stable, and that's a blessing. Trust me. It's anything but amazing, but let me tell you, it's a far cry from being immersed in an eating disorder every moment of every day. And at the end of that long stretch of plateau, when you get there, is a slide. And all you're going to have to do is get on and zoom right into freedom. No more mountains to climb, no more holes to jump over, just a slide. And sure, some hills may spring up here and there after you've slid into freedom, but when you're living sweet freedom, a little hill here and there is so doable. Wait it out. The plateau gives way. You're not done yet. There's more to come. Please, 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 wait it out. Wait it out. You can do it.